Hi and welcome back to my channel. I'm Kim and in today's video we are going to learn how to introduce yourself in Finnish. This video is split into 11 parts and includes more than 50 phrases for various levels. Let's take a closer look. First, we're going to learn how to introduce yourself by sharing your name, which is simple but essential. Next, in chapter 2, we'll get deeper into locations. So here you're going to learn how to talk about where you're from, where you grew up, and where you live now. Then chapter 3 builds on location plus duration. Here you'll learn how to talk about how long you've lived somewhere, whether it's your hometown or a new city you moved to. Moving along with chapter 4, we are going to shift our focus to languages. By the end of this chapter, you'll be able to talk about your native language, all the languages you speak, the languages you grew up with, and your level of Finnish. Then in chapter 5, we'll explore how to talk about your profession, what you do, where you work, who you work for, and the department you're in. After that, chapter 6 is going to take us into university life. This chapter is all about how to talk about your studies, what you study, where you study, and which year or semester you're currently in. Building on that, chapter 7 covers your qualifications. Here you'll learn how to share details like when and where you graduated, what degree you have, and the field you're specialized in. Next, in chapter 8, we'll focus on sharing your work experience. Here you'll learn how to talk about the places you've worked, the kind of work you did, and how many years of experience you have in your field. From there, we move into something more personal in chapter 9, which is all about hobbies and interests. So that means here we are going to learn how to express what we enjoy doing in our free time. Following that, with chapter 10, which is a very short one, we'll keep it simple by figuring out how to share your age comfortably. Finally, in chapter 11, we'll wrap it all up with personal flair. This is where you're going to learn how to add a unique touch to your self-introduction by reflecting on yourself. By the end of this video, you'll be fully equipped to introduce yourself confidently in any situation, whether it's a personal conversation, a job interview, or a social event. So let's get started with our first chapter, telling your name. If you want to share your name, there are 3 common ways to do it. The most common way is to say, "Hei, minä olen Kim," means, "Hello, I'm Kim." So, "Hey" means hello, "Minä" means I, "olen" am, and "Kim" is the first name. So let's repeat. "Hei, minä olen Kim." "Hello, I'm Kim." Another common way to share your name, especially if you want to say your full name, is to say, for example, "Hyvää päivää. Minun nimeni on Kimberly Park," means hello, or literally good day. My name is Kimberly Park. So, hyvää päivää literally means good day. Can be also understood as hello, but it has a slight formal touch. Minun nimeni means my name, on is, and then we add the first name, which is Kimberly, and the last name, which is Park. So let's repeat again. Hyvää päivää. Minun nimeni on Kimberly Park. Hello, good day. My name is Kimberly Park. And then we have the third common way to share your name, but in spoken language. Here you can say, for example, "Moi, mä oon Kim," which means hello, I'm Kim. So moi means hello. Mä is the spoken version of minä, which means I, while on is the spoken version of olen, which means am. So mä oon means I am. So let's repeat again. Moi, mä oon Kim. In English, hello, I'm Kim. Alright, we carry on with the next topic, location. Adding where you're from or also where you grew up gives a bit more depth to your story and so can often lead to interesting conversations. So if you want to tell where you're from, then depending on your country, you can say, for example, "Minä olen kotoisin Norjasta," means I'm originally from Norway. So minä olen means I am. Kotoisin can be translated as originally from, and then we have Norjasta, which means from Norway. So here you have to put your country in the elative case. So let's repeat again. Minä olen kotoisin Norjasta. I'm originally from Norway. Next one. Now, if you want to tell your nationality, then based on our first example, you would say Olen Norjalainen. Olen Norjalainen, which means I'm Norwegian. Olen means I am. Norjalainen means Norwegian. Olen Norjalainen. Alright, next one. Now you want to tell that you've been born somewhere, but you grew up in another place. Also based on our two previous examples, you can say Olen syntynyt Norjassa, mutta kasvoin Saksassa, which means I was born in Norway, but I grew up in Germany. So Olen syntynyt means I was born. Norjassa means in Norway. Mutta means but. Kasvoin means I grew up, past tense, I grew up, and Saksassa means in Germany, inessive case. So let's repeat again. Olen syntynyt Norjassa, mutta kasvoin Saksassa. I was born in Norway, but I grew up in Germany. Next one. Now we want to say that we grew up somewhere, but now we are living in another place. For example, kasvoin Dublinissa, mutta nyt asun Lontoossa means I grew up in Dublin, but now I live in London. So again, kasvoin means I grew up, Dublinissa means in Dublin, mutta means but, nyt now, asun means I live, present tense, and Lontoossa means in London. Kasvoin Dublinissa, mutta nyt asun Lontoossa. I grew up in Dublin, but now I live in London. Alright, we carry on with the next topic, location plus duration. Talking about how long you've been somewhere, whether it's your hometown or a city you just moved to, can give people a sense of your connection to the place. Let's take a look at some examples. Olen asunut Tokyossa yhten vuoden means I have lived in Tokyo for 1 year. Olen asunut means I have lived, Tokyossa means in Tokyo, and yhten vuoden can be translated as for 1 year. Next example, olen asunut Tokyossa 3 vuotta means I have lived in Tokyo for 3 years. Olen asunut, again perfect tense, means I have lived. Tokyossa means in Tokyo. 3 vuotta means for 3 years. Let's repeat again. Olen asunut Tokyossa 3 vuotta. I have lived in Tokyo for 3 years. Next one, we want to express that we now live somewhere, but before we lived somewhere else. For example, asun nyt Espoossa, mutta ennen asuin Münchenissä means I live now in Espoo, but before I lived in Munich, or as we say in German, München. So asun means I live, present tense, nyt means now, Espoossa means in Espoo, which is a city in Finland. Mutta means but, ennen means before, asuin means I lived, and Münchenissä means in Munich, which is a city in Germany. Let's repeat again. Asun nyt Espoossa, mutta ennen asuin Münchenissä. I now live in Espoo, but before I lived in Munich. Alright, we carry on with the next topic, languages. Mentioning the languages you speak is another way to show who you are. So now you want to tell what's your native language. For example, minun äidinkieli on saksa means my native language is German. Minun means my, äidinkieli means mother tongue, can be also translated as native language. On means is, and saksa means German. Minun äidinkieli on saksa. My native language is German. Or if you grew up with 2 languages, which means you're bilingual, then you can say kasvoin kaksikielisenä, eli puhuimme kotona saksaa ja norjaa, which means I grew up bilingual. In other words, we spoke German and Norwegian at home. So kasvoin means I grew up, past tense. Kaksikielisenä literally means as a bilingual. Eli means in other words or so. Puhuimme means we spoke, past tense. Kotona means at home. And saksa ja norja means German and Norwegian. So let's repeat again. Kasvoin kaksikielisena, eli puhuimme kotona saksaa ja norjaa. I grew up bilingual. In other words, we spoke German and Norwegian at home. Next one. Now you want to tell which languages you speak. For example, minä puhun saksaa, englantia ja koreaa, which means I speak German, English and Korean. Minä puhun means I speak, saksaa means German, englantia English and Korea means Korean. Minä puhun saksaa, englantia ja koreaa. I speak German, English and Korean. Next one. Now let's say you have a job interview and you want to mention that you can also communicate in Chinese or in Japanese or also in German. Then you can, for example, say minä pystyn kommunikoimaan myös kiinaksi, means I can also communicate in Chinese. Or if you want to say instead in Japanese, then you would say japaniksi. Or in German would be saksaksi. So let's go step by step. Minä pystyn kommunikoimaan means I'm able to communicate or I can communicate. Myös means also and kiinaksi means in Chinese. So let's repeat. Minä pystyn kommunikoimaan myös kiinaksi. I can also communicate in Chinese. Next one. Now let's take a look at how we can express our Finnish skills. For example, if you don't speak Finnish, you can say en puhu suomea. En puhu suomea, which means I don't speak Finnish. Or if you want to say I speak a little Finnish, then you can say minä puhun vähän suomea. Minä puhun vähän suomea. Vähän means a little. I speak a little Finnish. Or if you want to say I only speak a little Finnish, then you can say minä puhun vain vähän suomea. Minä puhun vain vähän suomea. I only speak a little Finnish. Or if you want to say that you speak Finnish quite well, then you can say minä puhun suomea aika hyvin. Minä puhun suomea aika hyvin, which means I speak Finnish quite well. And if you want to say that you're able to speak Finnish fluently, then you can say osaan puhua suomea sujuvasti. Osaan puhua suomea sujuvasti, which means I'm able to speak Finnish fluently. Let's have a look at two more examples that might be also useful for you. Puhun vain vähän suomea. Kaikki haluavat puhua englantia kanssani means I only speak a little Finnish. Everyone wants to speak English with me. So let's go step by step. Puhun means I speak. Vain vähän means only a little. And suomea means Finnish. Kaikki here in this sentence means everyone. Haluavat means want, third person plural, present tense. Puhua to speak. Englantia English and kanssani means with me. So let's repeat again. Puhun vain vähän suomea. Kaikki haluavat puhua englantia kanssani. I only speak a little Finnish. Everyone wants to speak English with me. And the last phrase for this chapter. Minä haluan puhua suomea, koska tarvitsen harjoitusta. Means I want to speak Finnish because I need practice. So minä haluan means I want. Puhua means to speak. Suomea Finnish. Koska, because. Tarvitsen I need. Harjoitusta, practice. Minä haluan puhua suomea, koska tarvitsen harjoitusta. I want to speak Finnish because I need practice. Now we carry on with the next chapter, work. When it comes to work, a quick description of what you can do can give others an idea of your skills and what a typical day looks like for you. Now let's start with the first one. Here you want to tell what your profession is. You can say, for example, olen opettaja, which means I'm a teacher. Olen means I am, and opettaja means teacher. Now, of course, there are also many other professions. Let's take a closer look at some of them. For example, olen insinööri means I'm an engineer. Olen sairaanhoitaja means I'm a nurse. Olen sihteeri means I'm a secretary. Olen lääkäri, I'm a doctor. olen tarjoilija. I'm a waiter or waitress. And olen arkkitehti means I'm an architect. Alright, so the structure is pretty simple. Olen plus profession. Now, in a more formal situation, you can also say minun ammattini on opettaja means my profession is a teacher. So, minun ammattini means my profession, on is, opettaja means teacher. Let's repeat again. Minun ammattini on opettaja. Next one. Here we have a little dialogue. Missä sinä olet töissä? Minä olen töissä koulussa means where do you work? I work at a school. So let's go step by step. What is A asking? Missä sinä olet töissä means where do you work? And B is answering minä olen töissä koulussa means I work at school. Koulussa literally means in school. However, in English in this context, we translate it as at school. So let's repeat again. Missä sinä olet töissä? Minä olen töissä koulussa. Where do you work? I work at school. Next one. Now you wanna share in which city you work. For example, minä olen töissä Helsingissä means I work in Helsinki. Minä olen töissä Helsingissä. I work in Helsinki. Next one. Now you wanna say where you work and what your function is. For example, minä työskentelen yliopistossa tutkijana means I work at a university as a researcher. So, minä työskentelen means I work. Yliopistossa means in a university. In English we translate it in this context as at university. And tutkijana means as a researcher. Here we have the active case. So let's repeat again. Minä työskentelen yliopistossa tutkijana. I work at a university as a researcher. Next one. Here's also another example of how you can share where you work. Minä olen töissä japanilaisessa yrityksessä means I work in a Japanese company. So here japanilaisessa yrityksessä means in a Japanese company. Minä olen töissä japanilaisessa yrityksessä. I work in a Japanese company. If you work in a Finnish company, then you would say minä olen töissä suomalaisessa yrityksessä. I work in a Finnish company. Or there are also many German companies, then you would say minä olen töissä saksalaisessa yrityksessä means I work in a German company. So let's repeat again. Minä olen töissä japanilaisessa yrityksessä. I work in a Japanese company. Next one. Now you wanna tell the company's name and also in which department you're in. For example, olen töissä Toyotalla lakiosastolla means I work at Toyota in the legal department. So, olen töissä can be translated as I work. Toyotalla here is the adjective case of the company's name, and lakiosastolla means at the legal department, standing in the adjective case. So let's repeat. Olen töissä Toyotalla lakiosastolla. I work at Toyota in the legal department. Alright, now let's carry on with the next topic. University. In this topic, you're going to learn how to say what you study, where you study, and in which year or semester you're in. So here's our first one. Opiskelen meteorologia means I study meteorology. So opiskelen means I study, and meteorologia means meteorology, and it's standing in the partitive case. Why? Because of the verb opiskella. So let's repeat again. Opiskelen meteorologia. Next one. Now you want to tell what you study and where you study. For example, minä opiskelen matematiikkaa Tukholman yliopistossa means I'm studying mathematics at the University of Stockholm. So let's go step by step. Minä opiskelen means I study. Matematiikka means mathematics, standing here in the partitive case, and Tukholman yliopistossa literally means in the University of Stockholm. In English we say at the University of Stockholm. Next one, now you want to tell in which year or semester you're in. For example, opiskelen toista vuotta Sibelius Akademiassa means I'm studying the second year at the Sibelius Academy. So opiskelen means I study, toista vuotta means second year, and Sibelius Akademiassa literally means in the Sibelius Academy. In English we say at the Sibelius Academy. So let's repeat. Opiskelen toista vuotta Sibelius Akademiassa. I'm studying the second year at the Sibelius Academy. Alright, next topic, qualification. For example, valmistuin lääkäriksi viime vuonna means I graduated as a doctor last year. So valmistuin means I graduated past tense, lääkäriksi means as a doctor, and viime vuonna means last year. Valmistuin lääkäriksi viime vuonna. I graduated as a doctor last year. Next one. Now we want to say from which university we have graduated. For example, valmistuin Tukholman yliopistosta viime vuonna means I graduated from the University of Stockholm last year. Valmistuin means I graduated past tense. Tukholman yliopistosta means from the University of Stockholm, and viime vuonna means last year. Valmistuin Tukholman yliopistosta viime vuonna. I graduated from the University of Stockholm last year. Next one, now we want to tell what degree we have. Let's start with the bachelor's degree. For example, minulla on kandidaatin tutkinto viestintätieteistä means I have a bachelor's degree in communication sciences. Minulla on means I have, kandidaatin tutkinto means bachelor's degree, and viestintätieteistä literally means from communication sciences. However, in English we say in communication sciences. Minulla on kandidaatin tutkinto viestintätieteistä. And for the master's degree we say minulla on maisterin tutkinto viestintätieteistä, which means I have a master's degree in communication sciences. Minulla on kandidaatin tutkinto viestintätieteistä or minulla on maisterin tutkinto viestintätieteistä. I have a bachelor's or master's degree in communication sciences. We carry on with the next topic, work experience. Now, if you've been working for a while, sharing a bit about your experience highlights what you've learned, your growth, achievements, and your expertise. Here is our first example. Minä työskentelin osa-aikaisena museossa means I worked part-time in a museum. So minä työskentelin means I worked, past tense. Osa-aikaisena literally means as part-time, passive case, and museossa means in a museum, inassive case. So let's repeat. Minä työskentelin osa-aikaisena museossa. I worked part-time in a museum. Next one. Now we want to say what kind of work we did. For example, olen tehnyt tulkin töitä. Literally means I have done interpreting work. So here we focus on the type of work. Olen tehnyt means I have done, perfect tense. Tulkin töitä literally means the work of an interpreter. Interpreter in Finnish is tulkki with a double K. Olen tehnyt tulkin töitä. I have done interpreting work. Next one. For example, if you want to say where you have also worked before, you can say olen työskennellyt apteekissa ennenkin. I have worked in a pharmacy before as well. So, olen työskennellyt means I have worked. Apteekissa means in a pharmacy, in a safe case. And ennenkin means before as well. By the way, ennenkin is a combination of ennen, which means before, and kin means as well. So let's repeat. Olen työskennellyt apteekissa ennenkin. I have worked in a pharmacy before as well. Next one. Now you want to tell how many years of experience in a specific field you have. For example, minulla on 5 vuoden kokemus tietotekniikasta means I have 5 years of experience in the field of information technology. So, minulla on means I have, viiden vuoden kokemus means 5 years of experience, and tietotekniikasta means of information technology. So let's repeat again. Minulla on 5 vuoden kokemus tietotekniikasta. I have 5 years of experience in the field of information technology. We carry on. Next chapter, hobbies and interests. Hobbies are also important to mention because they reveal what excites you outside of work or school and help others connect with your interests. Here I wrote different phrases where I think there's definitely something that works for you. So let's start with the first one. Harrastan musiikin kuuntelemista ja gitaran soittamista means I enjoy listening to music and playing the guitar. So, harrastan can be translated as I enjoy as a hobby. Musiikin kuuntelemista means listening to music. Ja means and. Gitaran soittamista means playing the guitar. So let's repeat again. Harrastan musiikin kuuntelemista ja gitaran soittamista. I enjoy listening to music and playing the guitar. Next one. If you love reading and traveling, then you can for example say pidän lukemisesta ja rakastan matkustamista. Means I like reading and I love traveling. So pidän lukemisesta means I like reading. Ja means and. Rakastan matkustamista means I love traveling. Let's repeat. Pidän lukemisesta ja rakastan matkustamista. I like reading and I love traveling. Next one. If you enjoy walking the most, then you can for example say eniten pidän kävelemisestä. Now to add a funny sentence, you can also say kesällä kävelen myös kissan kanssa, which altogether means I mostly enjoy walking. In summer I also walk with the cat. So let's go step by step. Eniten means mostly. Pidän kävelemisestä means I enjoy walking. Kesällä means in summer. Kävelen I walk. Myös can be translated as also, and kissan kanssa means with the cat. Let's repeat again. Eniten pidän kävelemisestä. Kesällä kävelen myös kissan kanssa. I mostly enjoy walking. In summer, I also walk with the cat. Next one, age. While this topic can be optional, telling your age can provide some context about your life journey so far. So if you want to tell your age, here's how you can do it. For example, olen 25 vuotta vanha means I'm 25 years old. Olen, I am, 25, 25, vuotta vanha means years old. Olen 25 vuotta vanha. I'm 25 years old. Or you can also make it shorter and just say minä olen 25, which means I'm 25. Or in spoken language it's even shorter. Here you just say on 25, which means I'm 25. On is the spoken version of olen, which means I am, and 25 is the short form of 25. On 25, I'm 25. Now we move on to our last topic for today, personal flair. This topic is like a unique detail or a fun fact which adds a personal touch to your self-introduction. Also here I wrote different phrases where I think there's definitely something that works for you. Let's start with option 1. If you have a pet, for example a cat or a dog, then you can say minulla on kissa, sen nimi on Mochi. Se on vasta 2 vuotta vanha. Literally means I have a cat. Its name is Mochi. It is only 2 years old. Now here you have to note that in English or even German we use the he or she pronouns for animals. However, in Finnish they use the se pronoun, which translated means it. So let's go step by step. Minulla on means I have, kissa means cat, sen nimi on Mochi means its name is Mochi, se on it is, vasta only, 2 vuotta vanha means 2 years old. So let's repeat. Minulla on kissa. Sen nimi on Mochi. Se on vasta 2 vuotta vanha. I have a cat. Her name is Mochi. Or literally translated, its name is Mochi. She's only 2 years old. Literally translated, it is only 2 years old. Option 2, for example, if you don't have a pet, then you can talk about something else. For example, what kind of food you like. In my case, it's Korean food. I really love Korean food. So I would say rakastan korealaista ruokaa. Means I love Korean food. Or Finnish food. Rakastan suomalaista ruokaa. Which means I love Finnish food. Option 3. If you listen a lot to music and podcasts, then you can, for example, say kuuntelen usein podcasteja kun kävelen ja kotona soi usein musiikkia. Means I often listen to podcasts when I walk and at home music often plays. So let's go step by step. Kuuntelen means I listen usein often podcasteja podcasts kun kävelen when I walk. Ja kotona and at home soi usein musiikkia. Music often plays. So let's repeat. Kuuntelen usein podcasteja kun kävelen ja kotona soi usein musiikkia. I often listen to podcasts when I walk and at home music often plays. Next one. Tykkään talvesta kun on paljon pakkasta ja lunta. I like winter when there's a lot of frost and snow. So tykkään talvesta means I like winter. Kun on paljon means when there's a lot. Pakkasta ja lunta means of frost and snow. So let's repeat again. Tykkään talvesta kun on paljon pakkasta ja lunta. I like winter when there's a lot of frost and snow. Next one. If you want to express what you're interested in, let's say literature, then you can say minä olen kiinnostunut kirjallisuudesta. Means I'm interested in literature. Minä olen kiinnostunut means I'm interested, and kirjallisuudesta means in literature. So yeah, now you're fully equipped to introduce yourself confidently in any situation. I hope you liked this video. If you want to learn more Finnish, please don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Thank you so much for watching. Have a nice day and see you next time.